Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic and a quite ludicrous puzzle. It's called Advent Calendar and it's by AnalyticalNinja, and this is absolutely ridiculous. There are no less than 25 different puzzles in this grid. Let's just stop there. We should all just ponder that for a moment. It is absolutely incredible. Basically, there seem to be 3 stages to solving the puzzle, but by the end of the 3rd stage, we will have solved 25 different puzzles and hopefully come up with the final answer to this conundrum. What an absolutely amazing thing to even think you could do. But AnalyticalNinja has done it. And this is what we're going to be attempting in today's puzzle. I will explain how the rules work in a moment or two's time. I've got a couple of things to mention before we kick off. The first is our Kickstarter is still going on over on Kickstarter, I suppose. Fog-Of-War Sudoku, which is going to be a novella wrapped around loads of Fog-Of-War puzzles with beautiful art as well. It'll be delivered in time for Christmas, so it's an ideal Christmas present. And I can reveal that should we reach, I don't know where Peter's going to place this, but Phistomefel is going to be creating his first ever Fog-Of-War puzzle for our Kickstarter, which is going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, the Kickstarter costs $5. To get the novella, and I think many of us would pay $5 just for any Phistomefel puzzle, let alone his first ever Fog-Of-War puzzle. So do check it out if you haven't had a look at it already. To those of you who supported it and made it happen, because it will now happen, it has funded, thank you so much. Other news this evening, 10 o'clock UK time, Mark and I are going to be streaming again at Chants of Sennaar. It's going to be our 3rd effort at it, and we'd love to have your company, so if you have any time, please do join us. And the only other thing to mention is that on the 1st of December, which is rapidly approaching, hence we're doing Advent Calendar themed puzzles, we have this Snackdoku marathon coming for you over on Patreon. 100 4x4 puzzles, all of which are intended to be very doable in sort of a couple of minutes. So they all have sort of different themes. I did yesterday actually start recording I recorded myself doing about the first 25 of them, and they're lovely. They're just lovely. So yeah, I do think that's going to be a really special thing. 4 o'clock UK time on the 1st of December is when that will release. And think, oh no, I've got a birthday. Let me not miss the birthday. Lucy, you're turning 22 today. And Lucy does some charity work, shoveling snow from the driveways of seniors. What a lovely thing to do, especially at this time of year. Lucy, many happy returns today. I hope you have a brilliant day, and I hope, of course, you have chocolate cake, and your chocolate cake is replete with an enormous, 1-to-1 ratio is the correct ratio, of course, of chocolate icing to chocolate cake. And if you manage to find a chocolate cake like that, I'm sure your day will be merry and bright. Now, let's move on to AnalyticalNinja's, what is this, 12x12, I suppose? Yes, it is, isn't it? It is 12x12. 144 cells of ludicrousness. These are the rules. Digits on arrows sum to the digit in the attached circle. So if this was, 3 and 4, that would add up to 7. That's what we would put in the circle. That's how arrows work in Sudoku puzzles mostly. Digits within cages can't repeat and sum to the small number in the top corner of the cage. So these 3 cells sum to 16. Those 3 sum to 11. Doesn't look like there are any cage. Oh, does that? No, I was wondering if that cage spanned a box, but it doesn't. I think that what was being told here is that those 2 cells sum to an even number, and that cell is just even, I suppose. And this puzzle is solved in 3 stages. Stage 1. Each 3x3 box is solved independently as a 3x3 mean mini, i.e. each box uses exactly 3 digits from 1 to 9 without repeating in the rows or columns of that box. So what that's telling us is this 3x3 is literally its own unique puzzle. We have to solve it without reference to anything else. we have to select 3 of the digits from 1 to 9. So say we pick the digits 1, 5 and 6. No, that's not going to be the digits that we use here, but let's say we did. Then we would have to have 1s in each of the 3 rows, 1 1 in each of the 3 rows, 1 5 in each of the 3 rows, and 1 6 in each of the 3 rows. And obviously that applies to the columns as well. And we'd have to make sure we're meeting the constraints within the box to make that thing happen. Then, once we've done that, so we're going to have to solve 16 puzzles at the start, 16 discrete puzzles, we move on to stage 2, where we have to delete all the digits except for the central cell of each 3x3 box. So we're going to be left with just 16 digits in the puzzle then, these 16. And what do we do then? What we do then, we have to solve each 6x6 quadrant as a Quattroquadri, i.e., thank goodness there's an i.e. there, because I don't know what a Quattroquadri is. So we've got to identify a quadrant. So this is a quadrant of the grid. So let's just focus on this quadrant and see what we have to do in it. We've got to place the digits 1 to 9 once each into the 3x3 boxes, such that they don't repeat within the rows and columns of the 6x6 bold outlined region. Right, so this box would then contain 1 to 9, and we'd have to make sure that we're obeying all the rules of the cages and the arrows again. But if we put a 1 here, I think what we're being told is we couldn't then put a 1 over here, because that would repeat a 1 within the Quattroquadri, or whatever it's called, and that's too naughty for words. We mustn't do that. So we're going to have a puzzle there, a puzzle here, a puzzle here, and a puzzle here. You can sort of see actually the bold outlined areas are defining the quadrants. So that's going to take us up to 20 puzzles, 16 originals, and then 4 more. So we need 5 more puzzles to get to 25 and fill our advent calendar. Now, stage 3. Delete all digits except for the 16 digits saved from stage 1, so they were the central digits. Oh, I shouldn't have got rid of those. Hang on, let's reinstate those again. Good clicking practice. And the central 4 cells of each Quattroquadri. This should result in 4 small X shapes of givens in the grid. Right, so that's the 4 central cells of a Quattroquadri. Yes, okay, so if we highlight those, I have got 4 X shapes in the grid, so that would seem correct. What do I do then? Each 12-cell row, each 12-cell column, and each 6x6 Quattroquadri of 3x3 boxes consists of 3 Sudoku boxes and 1 mean mini box. Each Sudoku box contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, and among the Sudoku boxes, digits cannot repeat in the grid's rows or columns. I see. Each mean mini box can be solved again as mean minis with 1 doubler per row and column of the 3x3 box. The doublers don't have to contain different digits. Wow. Wow. So at the end of all of this, all of those, however, 20 puzzles we've solved at this point, we're just going to have digits in the green cells, and we're going to have to work out of these, this whole row here, one of these boxes is a mean mini box, and the others are normal Sudoku boxes. So let's say that was a mean mini box. What that would say is that we're playing Sudoku with these cells. So we couldn't repeat a digit in these cells that I've just sort of outlined. Let's make them yellow. Similarly, in the columns, these would all be so-called Sudoku boxes. And then we'd have to find a mean mini in this set of 3, or set of 4, I suppose. A mean mini in this set of 4. And we have to, the other thing we have to make sure is there's only 1 mean mini in each Quattroquadri. So this would, if this was a mean mini, that would be a normal Sudoku box, etc. And then then we have to fill this box in, though, using doublers. So each mean mini can be solved again as a mean mini with one doubler per row and column. So mean mini means we have to do the 3-digit thing again. We've got to pick 3 of the digits 1 to 9 and fill that box with it. But now we can have doublers. So that's going to be complicated. Right, and that gets us, I can see, to an overall count of 25 puzzles. This is, how did you set this? It is ridiculous. Because after we've done all this, we've got these green cells filled. There's then so what I think there's going to be is a massive Sudoku on the yellow boxes, where we're going to have the digits 1 to 9 once each, basically, in the yellow cells. So that's a puzzle. And then we're going to have 4 more mean minis. So that's another 4 puzzles, which gets us up to 25 puzzles. So there are 25 puzzles hidden within this grid. It's staggering. It's absolutely staggering. Do have a go. Give yourselves an early Christmas present. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I think it was AnalyticalNinja. I think it was AnalyticalNinja that made one of these before. Not an advent calendar and with not this many puzzles in it, but it was... I do remember doing these mean mini things. Right, I'm going to start off with a song. Not a Christmas song. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. Okay. Well, we can't put 3 in a 14 cage because the other digit would have to be 11. And even in this puzzle, that doesn't work. So the 3 goes there, the 3 goes there by Sudoku now. So that's got to be an 8. We've now got to put 8 in this row. So there's a 6 and an 8. Which means that's a 6 in the top row, that's a 6, that's an 8, that's an 8, that's a 6. I remember from doing these puzzles before that a little trick with mean minis is you'll always get either the positive diagonal or the negative diagonal having the same digit on it. So you can see those 3 6s repeating. We'll find that pattern everywhere. There won't be necessarily 6s, but always there'll be either repeats in these or repeats in the negative diagonal. Right. So that's literally done. That's literally done. We can move on. Right, I can do something in this box. Because you can't repeat a digit in a cage, those 3 digits are the 3 different digits that make up this mean mini, and they add up to 18. But there are 2 digits in the puzzle that add up to 13. So that digit must be a 5, because if this 13 must be a subset of this 18. The 3rd digit in it will be the difference between 18 and 13, so it must be a 5 and it must go here. Now, is that helpful? Well, I don't know. It does mean there's a 5 on this arrow in column... I'm going to call it column 3 because it's easier for me to calculate than saying column 12 or whatever it is. There's a 5 on the arrow, and this 13 cage now can't be a 5-8 cage, can it? So it's either 4-9 or 6-7. But this digit is the sum. Well, there's only one way this can possibly work. Because obviously this cell has to be the biggest number. Because this digit is going to go somewhere in this column and be added to 5 to get to this total. So that must be 4, and that must be 9, and that you can see that's the only way that can work. So 4 in the 18 cage now goes here, which fixes everything. And we're going to get 9. So this one has 9s on the diagonal in the opposite direction to where the 6s went. That was lovely. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same trick here. Though the 3 digits in this mean mini sum to 13, but 2 of the 3 digits sum to 12, so that must be a 1. And then 1 in column 2 has to be a 1-5 pair, adding up to 6 because the 1 must be in this cage. And now the 12 cage must be a 5-7 pair because it must have a 5 in it. And now 5 must go here by a process of Sudoku, which means that's a 7, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 5, that's a 7, and that's a 7, and we've done another mean mini. And now we're going to do this puzzle, which has got 13 as the 3 digits, so there's a common trick here. 5 is these 2 squares, so the difference of 8 must go here. Oh, hang on. Now, there's more go. Oh, well, look. Yeah, this has got to be a 3 now. Because these 2 cells sum to 5, but those 3 cells, by arrow logic, sum to 8. So that's a 3. And now we have to put 3 in the bottom row. So we actually know, and this is adding up to an even number, so we can't put the odd digit with that. So we're getting 8s on the diagonal. We put a 2 there and a 3 there. In the corner, that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Oh, very nice. Okay, well, we've done 4 of the 25 puzzles. Okay, but I can do more. I can do more, because this box, again, same trick again. I'm going to keep doing it. 14... but 10 of 2 of these cells must be able to sum to 10. So the other digit must be a 4. That must go there. Right. Can we do more with that then? So we've got 2 digits here that are going to add up to 10, but the big digit is going to be the circle digit. So what I'm thinking there is if this was 1, 9, for example, which it might be able to be actually, we can't put the 1 in the circle, can we? So this has got to be 9, 7, 9, 8 or 7, and this has got to be 1, 2 or 3. And we can see now that this 4, oh no, it's much more straightforward than I'm making it. This 4 has to appear in this row, so it's going to be on the arrow. But that means the arrow is adding up to 8 already, plus 1 more digit. But this can't be more than 9. So this must be a 1-4 pair. And that tells us that 1 is in the 10 cage. So we'll go 1, 9. That's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 1, 1, 4, and that's a 4. And that one's done as well. Very nice. Same trick again. 14 and 12, so that's got to be a 2. Okay, now in Mean Mini World... where's the 2 in this column? It can't be here because we can't double 1 this. So that's got to be the 2, which means that's the 2. And right, I see how to do this. Now we can see that we've got 2 digits here that have to be different from each other by 2. But those 2 digits also have to sum to 12. So they must be 7 and 5, because the only other ways of making 12 would be things like 3, 9 or 4, 8. Or 4 and 8 are different by 4, and 3 and 9 are different by 6. So none of those are going to cut the mustard. So we're going to have to do this, 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 7. We've got the 7s along the diagonal here. So we're sort of doing the outline. Well, I'm going to keep doing it where I can see it's working. 13 here and 11 there, so that's a 2. So 2 is on the arrow in one of 2 places here. And, okay, but we've got 3 arrow cells here. And we've got 11 more. We've got 11 more there. So, how do we do this? Maybe... If that was a 2, where would you put 2 in this column? It would have to go there and repeat in the cage, which it can't do. So 2 goes there, 2 goes there. And now we know these 2 digits sum to 11. And we know this is the bigger digit in the 11. So if this was, I don't know, 7, 4, we can't put 4 into the top cell, can we? So these 2 are the same digit, which means that's these 3 by colouring are the same. These 3 are by colouring the same. We now know this is even. And we know it's even, look, because if we look at the structure of this arrow, we've got 2 of blue, whatever blue is, so 2 of any number will give us an even number, and we're adding it to an even number. So this is even, and it's got to be the bigger of the digits in the 11 cage. So it's 6. Well, it can't be 5. It can't be 6, 5, because that's going to put 2 5s on the arrow, and that's going to add up to more than 10 then. So it must be 8, 3, 3, 3. Oh, that's 3 in the corner again. Does that mean I can fill this in with a 3? That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Okay, we're going to keep going with my trick, which is to write 4 in here, the difference between 14 and 10. So 4 has to appear in this 14 cage, so that fills in all of the 4s in this puzzle. And then what are we going to do? Well, perhaps we just carry on with colouring. You can see those 3 squares now have to all be the same digit, because where does that go in column 3? It must go here, and that logic propagates up the diagonal. So therefore these 3 digits are the same. And have we got another? We've got more even trickery, haven't we? We've got double yellow plus a 4, so this is even, and is at least, well, you can see it's at least 6, but it must be, we need to make sure that altogether this cage adds up to 14. So these have to add up to 10, but this is an even digit, so it must be 8 too. That's the only way that will work. So those become 2, they become 8s. Let's just check everything is working. That looks good. Okay, let's do this one. That's a 1. Again, it's the same trick again. It's a very useful trick. Okay, yeah, in fact, look, where does 1 go in column 2? It can't go in the circle, so we're going to get a line of 1s going up this mean mini. And so we've got 2 being added to this digit. But that digit, and that digit are all the same, aren't they? By the logic of where does red go in this column. So this is now the bigger of the 2 digits, and it can't be 9, 1. If it was 8, 2, this arrow wouldn't add up. If it was 7, 3, this arrow wouldn't add up. So it's 6 and 4. Yeah, the other way of seeing that is that obviously this number has to be too different from that number, yet still be in a domino that adds up to 10. So that was much easier to do than I made it, but it still gets done. Oh no, right, hang on. I'm looking for places I can do the trick. No, I think the trick's run aground now. Has the trick run aground? It might have done, you know. That's a worry. Yeah, I'm looking at these other boxes, and I can't see anything very clever in any of them. So we're probably going to have to start thinking rather harder, which is a worrying thought. Okay, I'm going to start with this one, because I can see something here. And that's, I can ask where the central digit, where does it go in the top row? Now it's on an arrow emanating from this circle, so there's no way it can go in the circle, because then this would have to be a 0. So it must go there, and that's going to create a nice diagonal pattern along here, and that's going to allow us to shade in or to colour the rest of this box, isn't it? So let's do that as our first step, and then we can study this and see what we can see. Now, what can we see? One thing we can see is that purple is an even number now, and purple has to be quite a big number as well. Purple's even because it's the sum of 2 digits, but green, which is the double digit that becomes purple, it can't be, well, it's got to be a 3 or a 4, doesn't it? Because if it's any bigger, this gets too large. So this is 6 or 8. But look, yeah, if this was 8 and you put 8 into this square, then this arrow would add up to too much. It would add up to 12. So that's got to be a 6. These have got to be 3s. And now that's going to be an 8. Oh, hang on. When I did this, I think things started to... Oh, no. I think things started to change in the bottom of the grid. Did they? Yeah, they did. Oh, I'm glad I spotted that. That could have been a total disaster. So I've got to be very careful about double clicking things. But let's just check this is working. That adds up. Oh, no, this arrow. Hang on, something's wrong. The 4s. No, I don't like this at all. I need 3s and 9s. Or maybe this has all got messed up by down here. Sorry. Yeah, let's just come back to this. I'm glad I checked this, actually. We worked out that this couldn't be 8, because that would be 8. So these have to be 3s. This has to be 6. And now this arrow adds up to 9. I don't know why I put 8 in. I'm worried it was something else. But anyway, I think that now works. Now, which one should we look at next? I don't... Well, let's try that arrow trick here again. Because again, let's look at this digit and ask where it goes in row 2. Well, it can't go in the circle without this being a 0. So it goes here, which allows us to shade all of the mean mini using the usual technique. So all of that's the sort of the basic structure of how this box works. We've got... Oh, hang on. That... Okay. Well, look. We've got green and orange add up to 9 per the cage, but green and orange are on this arrow. So grey, which I haven't got anywhere else in the puzzle, is 9. We can immediately say that. And that tells us green is 4 by a process of the sum of this box, and now orange is 5, and that box is finished. Right, let's try that again. I think this is a good strategy. Looking at kinky arrows and trying to colour the boxes. This cell, where does it go in column 2? Again, it's got to be here, hasn't it? 'Cause it can't be in its own circle. So immediately from this, well, we learn a number of things. Let's just shade the box first again. First thing we learn is that this grey cell is even because it's double purple. Actually, there doesn't seem to be... Yeah, so we have to... Well, okay, if this was 2, then this would be 4, and we'd have 2 and 4 in here, and this would need to be 10. So that's not right, is it? So this is at least 3. So it's 3 or 4. It can't be 5, or this would be 10. Now if this is... So this is 6 or 8. This is 6 or 8. This is 6 or 8. Now... I see. Right, so if it's 4, we get 8 here, but yellow has to be another 4 to get to 16. That's great, isn't it? That's really nice. So purple has to... Oh, well, I could have done this a different way. I could have done this by going, there's going to be a 3 in the corner, and that would have worked, but that's not logical. So that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So now what do I got? I need 7. I don't feel like I've written 7 into many... No, I did write some 7s over there and down there, actually. So I have written some 7s in, but not many. Right, we're left with 4 to do. So where should we start? What's a useful place to start? Let's try shading this box using that technique again. This digit can't go in its own circle, so that forces that arrangement, which of course forces this arrangement, which forces that arrangement. So what do we learn from this? Don't know yet. We know that... Okay, we've got 7 here, haven't we? So the circle has to be 8 or 9 because we're adding another digit to an arrow that adds up to 7 in this domino. So green is 1 or 2. Oh, well, that's done it. You can't put 1 in the corner because it's in an 11 cage. So it's 2. 2 in the dark green, 9 in the yellow, and 5, I suppose, on the diagonal. These are they're lovely little vignettes, aren't they? They're not complicated, or not that complicated, but they are rather lovely to keep solving. Okay, so I'm going to do this one now. Again, I'm going to pick an arrow cell, this one. And I'm going to ask where it goes in the second row. It can't go in its own circle, creating a diagonal. Therefore, that, and that are a sequence of other colouring. Let's give us... Now let's look at this one. So now we can see that blue is an even number because it's double red. And, okay, so 1 we can rule out because we can't write 2 in here. If this was 2, this would be 4. Oh, that works, actually. Because the other number that's even is this one. So we get even. Blue is even, but then double blue becomes green. So we're not going to be able to go higher than 2 here. Because if we go 3, we're going to get double 6, and that's going to be 12. And 12 you can't put into Sudoku. So we've got to go 2s, into 4s, into 8s, and you can see everything is balancing beautifully. Very, very even dominated situation. Right, so let's go to this one now. Now this one looks, oh actually this one looks, maybe I should have started with this one. It's got a 15 kg in it, but also I can immediately colour it again. I can ask where this digit goes in the top row. Can't go in its own circle, so we're going to get colouring of this nature, which gives us colouring of that nature, which gives us colouring of that nature. Now this digit is on an arrow but also in a 15 kg, so it can't be 9, can it? So it's 6, 7 or 8, which means this is 7, 8 or 9 by mathematics. That's 7, 8 or 9. Hang on, that's just, yes, I should probably have started with this one, because look, that's just an even number. Well, the only even number it can be now is 8. So that's 7. Whoa, massive interruption there, I'm afraid. That has been hours, literally hours. I've had to step away, and I've only just come back. You can see it's gone dark in the meantime, so I'm sorry. Well, it'll only be, hopefully, a moment in your time, but it was a long time in my time. So what have I done? I've put 7. So how could I not finish this box? Hang on. No, my brain's now given up. Oh, there's an arrow. Okay, there's an arrow. All right, so we can put 1s into those, can't we? 7 plus 1 equals 8. I've only got one left of these naughty little mini-me's now, or whatever they're called, mini-minis, maxi-minis, mean minis. Now, how were we doing these? We were doing these using shading, weren't we? So I'm going to start with the middle cell for this one. And I can see that cell has to appear somewhere in column 3 or column 6, depending on how you want to phrase it, but it can't go in its own circle. So that's got to go there. So we've got a diagonal thing there. That's the other shading, and then the final part, which we'll make green, has got to be in these 3. Now, what have we got? We've got an even cage. We've got 2 blues add up to an even number, so orange is even, and we've got 2 even oranges adding up to green, but we've also got to put blue in again. So this is what does that mean? I was going to say this has to be at least 6, but that's not true, is it? Because actually this is Mean Mini World, and we could have repeated. I mean, we could have, no, orange can't be 1, but orange might be able to be 2. If blue was 1, orange would be 2, green would be 5, and that cage would be even, so that's fine, actually. In fact, that's forced to be correct, because if we even increase blue beyond the value of 1, this square gets too big for the world. Because, yeah, that's cute. Okay, so look, watch this. If we make this 2, all of them 2, therefore, you can see that this orange has become 4 now, and we're doubling 4 plus 2 to give this circle total. So this would be double digit, which won't work. So we need blue to be 1, orange to be 2, green to be 5, and now this is done. And there we go. I wish I got to finish that before, but effectively 16 puzzles down, and now we've got to do the other thing, which I've now totally forgotten what it was. Delete all digits except for the central cell of each 3x3 box. So how are we going to do that in some sort of way that's efficient? I could highlight the whole grid and then delete all the colour from it, and then I want to somehow just pick out these cells. So maybe if I colour these, I bet you there is a way in the software of doing this. I don't think I know what it is. What I was thinking is, I bet there's a way, because I know if I double click greens now, I'll get these highlighted, but what I want to do is highlight everything else in the puzzle. How do I do that, do you think? Double click those. It's going to be, I don't know. The thing is, if I press Control I, to invert it, and it's not Control I. Control I could be some Microsoft Windows thing that destroys your computer. I don't dare do it, actually. I don't dare do it. Let's do it the slow way. Let's just delete everything the slow way. It's a little bit cumbersome, and I'm quite sure that there is a way to do it more efficiently. It's just I'm not sure what that is. So let's try and do it this way and see if it works. I can't actually even see what I'm highlighting. I'm intending to highlight lots of stuff. I don't know. Something's gone wrong, I think, in this column. Not sure. Right. Let's delete. Oh no! Look how much I've missed there. That's appalling. Oops. Okay, so they can be deleted. I suppose I've got to delete all the pencil marks as well, though. So this is a good test of your clicking accuracy, isn't it? Let's see how many armies we lose as we click around the grid. Okay, is that have we reached a state of purity now, perhaps? Okay, so let's delete those. I've got a digit in the middle of every box. And what do I have to do now? I have to... Oh, we have to solve quadrants. And the way we solve quadrants is we put the digits 1 to 9 once each into the 3x3 boxes, but we don't repeat within a quadrant. Right, so let's highlight that and possibly this as well. That's going to give us a sort of checkerboarding effect. Let's make those yellow. So within yellow, I've got to play Sudoku. And then within white I've got to play Sudoku. Well, not this yellow as well, but just up here, this quadrant, we can... Yeah, look, that's got to be a 2. Just by mathematics of all things. Right, and that can't... Well, yeah, that can't be another 2 within the box. That has to be a 1, so that's an 8 in the arrow. So it's possible that the puzzle actually will get easier now we've done the minis. So 11 here has to be 4, 7. Everything else is taken care of. 2, 9, 3, 8, 5, 6. So we've still got 3, 6, and 9 to put in this box. We have got this up here is either 5, 8 in that order, or 6, 7 in some order that we don't know. Oh no, 6, 7. I can't have a 7 there, so we can't have a 6 there because of this 4, 7 pair. This cell is at least a 6. That must be true, because within this box I'm not allowed to repeat a digit, so this is at least a 1, 2, 3 triple. Oh, wait a minute. That's a good thought. Right. What do those cells add up to? And the answer is quite a lot, but not... Well, no, it's a very small amount given how many cells there are. So, yes, perhaps a better question is what do those 6 cells add up to? And the answer is 22. Now, if you know the triangular number for 6 is 21, you will realise that it's very hard to make the digits small enough for those 6 cells to add up to 22. They must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. That is the only combination that will work with different digits. So, and we can't put the 7 in the 11 cage because it would need to be accompanied with a 1 and a 3. So the 7 is in the 10 cage. It can't go on a 3-cell arrow. So the 7 goes there, the 3 goes there. These squares are 2, 4, and 5. This is not 7 because that's 7. 6, 8, and 9 go into these cells, then in the rest of the box. And if that's 2, that's 6. If that's 4... Oh, literally everything works. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, 2 and 5 look at that square, so that's not 4. So if this isn't 4, this can't be 8 anymore. Ah, 4 here means... I was just thinking that there's an awful lot of funny digits to resolve here. Ah, but we can do it. Look, 6, 9, 6, 3, 9 triple in row 4. So that's an 8. So that's not an 8. No, we're still going to need we're going to need the top parts of this to resolve this, I think. That cell is at least a 2, look, because it can't be a 1. So this is at least a 6, and it can't be 7 or 8, so that is 6 or 9. and it can't be 9 because that would be a 5. So that's 6, that's 2, that's 7 by mathematics, that's 8, that's 5 by eliminations to do with our fair weather friend Sudoku. We need 1, 3 and 9. Oh, no, that doesn't feel very good. 1, 3 and 9. I thought that I have to resolve this, do I? Maybe that's the point. Let me just go back to the rules. I thought we had to, each discrete puzzle was going to be solved sequentially. It does suggest that. I don't really see how this can possibly resolve, but maybe I've just missed a point. What do those add up to? 9. Well, okay, yeah, that is useful, because these have to not be 2, 7, 3, 6 or 4, 5, so they must be 1, 8, and we actually do know the order. So 8 goes there, 1 goes there, but that's... It's not really doing much for us, is it? I'm sorry, I'm missing a trick here. I'm feeling a bit like I've made a mistake, actually, because all of these 6s, 9s, 3, 6, 9s, how is this going to get resolved by what's going on in the top of the grid? It's not like a normal Sudoku where we've got to put all the digits 1 to 9. We're going to miss 3 out every time. That square is at least a 4. I can see that. So that's... I want to put 4 in there. Because it sees 1, 2 and 3. So this is at least... it's not a 5 because we've got 5 there. Right, so this is 5. Make that a 6. Now, if that's 6, that's 7. Oh, hang on. Maybe this has to be 5. 1, 2... 3, all looking at this. If this is 4, that's 5, and that breaks. Yeah, okay. So this has to be 5, that has to be 6, which means that is 9, and that will do some things in the bottom of the grid. Whether it... Well, it might do enough, actually. 3, 1, 9. That's 6 now. This arrow has to be made to work, and that this is... Okay, no, fair play. It is unwinding. That's very strange. So now... 2 and 4 we can place over this side, and we get... Oh, of course, we're going to get another 3 in the corner, aren't we? Yes, we are. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. I wonder if all of this is going to be 3s. Oh, well, that one is. That one is. I can do that. Well, that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. That's 8 by mathematics. What's this? Not... no. Oh, well, no, it's not. We don't know. It's 9, 2. Or it's 4, 7 in either order. Am I meant to do this one now? Well, let's do this one, seeing as I'm down here. Let's... They are all discrete puzzles after all, aren't they? Now, this 13 is not 4, 9, so it's either 8... 5 in exactly this order, or it's 6, 7 in exactly that order. And that's rather pretty, because now this can't be a 7, 8 pair, can it? So that 15 cage is a 6, 9 pair, and that fixes that this digit is a 5. And that means that this arrow is a 1, 4 pair, because it can't be a 3, 2 pair. This is lovely. Right, so what's this? Oh, well, hang on, let's do that first. Oh, it doesn't matter. Bobbins. Okay, so these squares add up to 9. Well, they're either 2, 7 or 3, 6, but I'm not sure if we know which. Oh, you can't put 9 on an arrow, so that's 6, that's 7, that's 9. This is an odd cage, so this has got to retain its parity. So that square is 2 or 8, it's got to be even. That's got to be even as well, and that's got to be 2 or 8. That also sees 4, just a different 4. So now, where does... no, that's not a good question. 3, 4, 5 to place in this box. Let's actually fully pencil mark it. That's not 4, that's not 5. that one in the corner, don't know. 7 in this box has to appear, doesn't it? So it's got to be vertical. So that's not 7, which means that's not 4. So this is down to 2 or 7. And that's 4 or 9. Pregnant pause while I try and work out what's going on. This arrow, that's a 9, I think. Because it can't be 7 or 8, but it's got a 4 in its arrow, and we know all 3 of those digits are different by the ludicrous rules. So we're adding up at least to 7 with a 1-2 pair with the 4. So that is a 9. And now, with a 4 on the arrow, that's got to be a 2-3 pair. And somewhat to my surprise, that doesn't seem to be resolved. But, the 14 cage now requires that to be a 7 or an 8, I think. Hang on, what's going on here? 4. No, that does seem to be true. Okay, sorry. Look, if that's a 9, that's a 1. Although that... Oh, no, that is doing something. Where do we put 1 in box 16? We have to put it there. This 18 cage, we've got 2 more cells that add up to 9, using 6s and 7s as well. They're either going to use 6s or 7s, and that square cannot be 6 or 7. So this is a 6 or a 7. This is a 2 or a 3. 2, 3, 6, 7. Oh, goodness me, I can't see how to do this. 1 second. Do we know what this is now? It's either 9-2 or 4-7. 9, this square maybe. That's 2, 7 or 9. I'm going to put that in, but I don't see that it's actually resolvable. 2, 7 or 9. So 5 in this box is down here. So 5s are in these positions. Still, it doesn't do it. What's going on? Do we have to... I'm tempted to colour these twos and, well, possibly the 2s actually, because at least there's some communication between the 2s. I was going to say 2s and 3s, but I don't think I can colour the 3s. Oh, well. Actually, maybe I can colour the 3s. 2, 2. God, wow. Okay, colouring does it. Colouring does it, but it's not easy, this. Right, let's look at that square. So this square, I want to think about if that's a 2. Now you can see that in this box, if this is a 2, this is a 2. And that seems to tell you that the 2 in there, in this box, is going to go here. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is what that does to 3s. Because if this is a 2, this is a 3. And now the 3 in this box seems to have to go in the corner. And now this little square here sees 2 in green and 3 in purple, and is neither of those things, and that cell cannot exist in the puzzle. Now there may well be a much easier way of seeing that, but that is what I've just seen. So this is 3, this is 2, this is 7, this is 4, this is 9. Okay, so these squares are a 2-5 pair. Somewhat. This is a 7 by mathematics. Hang on, what's going on? This must be done now. Yes, it must be done. Hang on. Well, what on earth? I think I'm going mad here. 5, 6, 8. Oh, 6 goes there. Right, 6, 5, 8. So that's 2. That's 8. Has that done it? 5, oh, 3 and 5 are looking at the corner, so that's 4, 3, 5. And now what do we do? I don't know. This square, no, I don't know which one to look at. What about this square? That square is 2, 3, no, it's 2 or 7. Golly gosh, alright, right, that determines these now, because this can't be a 2, 7 pair. If that was 2, 7, it would break that square. So this is 3, 6. This is suddenly... Oh, now the 7 has to go here. That's lovely. Good grief. That one is vicious. That was a massive step up in terms of difficulty from that one. Now I'm quite scared. Which one of these are we going to do now? This one? I hope it's... Oh, yes, it might start easier. That's got to be a 9 by maths. That's got to be a 1 by maths. Oh, this is better. Okay. Where should we go now? Is there an easy place to look for our next digit? Can we do maths on this box? 25, 31. I can't even remember if I did the secret, it's so many hours ago. But you can do the secret on this, so if I didn't tell you a few hours ago, I'm going to tell you again. The secret, of course, for any Sudoku is that any 3x3 box contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, and they add up to 45. So, if I've got 31 in those squares, in order to get the box up to 45, these have to add up to 14, but there's a 5 here. So the only way left is a 6-8 pair. So that's 6-8. Now that means this 12 cage is 3-9, because it can no longer be 4-8 or 5-7. And the 13 cage has got to be 2-4-7 now, as the sort of rump of the digits. Now, this cage might be interesting. A 5 cage is either 1-4 or 2-3. So it has to be in this specific order. And that circle, well, that's got to be at least 6, hasn't it? Because we're adding 5 to this number, whatever. So this number is 1, 2, or 4, depending on... It can't be 3 because of this cell. It can't be more than that because this can't be more than 9. So this is 9, 7, or 6. And this is even. No, oh, nearly. 9 in the box. Ah, well, let's think about that, actually. Because 9 in this box is in a domino that adds to an even number. So we know this contains 2 odd numbers now. Yeah, but okay. Do we know? Don't know actually. Let me just think about this. I'm not quite seeing this. If that's 6, that's 3, and that's a 1-2 pair. If it's 7, that's 4, and it's a 1-2 pair. If it's 9, you can't use 5 or 6 in that triple, so it's got to be 2, 3, 4. So that would be 3, this would be 4. These would add up to 9. 4, 3. Cool. Right, that doesn't work. Right, so this is huge. This is actually huge. I now know this is 9 and this is 7. It's beautiful. And the reason for that is I've just worked out this can't be 9. Let me show you why. If this is 9, the only way to make this arrow add up, because it can't have a big digit, a 5 or a 6 in it, is 4, 3, 2. So that's the 4, that's the 3, that's the 2. But this domino now is impossible to fill. It has to add up to 9. It can't be 1, 8, 2, 2, 7, 3, 6 or 4, 5. So that doesn't work. And that means that this square is not 9, but we worked out there was a 9 in one of these. So that's 9. We worked out these had to be even, so this has to have the same parity as 9, i.e. it's odd. So that's 7. And now this must be 1, 2, 4, and this can't be a 3, so that's 4. This is a 1, 2 pair. These digits at the top are 3, 5, and 6 by our fair weather friend Sudoku, and that must be a 5, 6 pair. Otherwise we can't make this big enough to add up to 13. So this is 2, this is 1, this... okay. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Loser gets religion again. We literally might as well just write 3 in there, I think. It's quite funny. I mean, imagine setting this, and I don't know if this is a deliberate joke to put 3s in the corner all the time, but it seems unnecessary for Analytical Ninja in his puzzle that has 25 puzzles in one to add an extra constraint. Right, what about that? That can't be 3-9, look, this 12 cage. That's 5-7 or 4-8. I don't know where to look now. Let's try... That digit can't be a 1, look, because that would be a 4, and it can't be a 2, and it can't be a 3. So this is at least a 4. It's not a 4 because that we can't put 7 here. So this is 5. It's 5. That's actually all it can be. It can't be 6, because if it was 6, this would be 9. So that's 5, that's 8. So this isn't 8, which means this isn't 4. This isn't 5, so this isn't 7. Nearly. I was thinking about where 1 is in that box. It can be in 2 places. I think it can go there because this can be a 4. These two are a naked pair, frolicking in the corner of the grid. Look, because look at all the digits they see. They see 7 different digits, so they have to be 2 and they have to be 2 and 6, and we know the order. That's beautiful. A beautiful naked pair, no less. So now these squares are 1, 4, and 7, and right, we can't put 1 there, and we can't put 7 there because this would be a 10. So if this is 4, this is 3, 1. If this is 7, this is 3, 4. It works both ways. Oh, that's weird. Right, okay. So it's probably this arrow, or these 2 arrows somehow, but I think we can put loads of digits in this square. If that's 1, that's 3. That's at least 4. But that can be 7. That would be 4. That would be 1. Oh no, that would put 2 7s in, so maybe that doesn't work. There might be some pressure down here. Let me just think about that again. So if that's 1, that's 3. Now we've got 3 plus... We can't use 1, 2 or 3 again. So this is at least 4. But it can't be 4. Because that puts a 7 here, where it clashes. So this would have to be more than 4. So it could be 5. Can't be 6, look. So this would be 8. So if this is 1, this is 8. But this doesn't have to be 1, it could be 3 is the next thing. No, it can't be 3, because that would be 5. So it's not 3, so it's at least 4. So if that's 4, that would be 6. 4, 6. I'm desperately trying to see why this might not work. I'm not seeing it. 4, 6. Now this couldn't be 2 or 3 then, so this would be 1. And this would be 7, I think. Okay, so unfortunately that's most certainly an option, isn't it? So 4 is an option here. That would give us a 1, 4 pair though. If there's no other options for this digit, we can get this square. So let's check. Can this be 5? No, because that would be 7, and that's ruled out by the 7 that exists in one of those 2 squares. Can it be 6? We are running out of room here. 6 would cause this to be 8. And that would have to be 1, and this would have to be 9. Oh no, I think that might work. 6, 2, that's 8. This is 9 and this is 1. So this is always 1 or 5. I don't think this can be more, because we can't make this 9, because this will be at least 10. So what has this proved? Oh, we haven't got our pair in column 3 anymore. otherwise known as column 9. Can we do more Sudoku somewhere? 5, 6, 5. Yes, look, 5 and 6. Sorry, I didn't see it. Oh no, it's not doing anything though. 7 here. Ah, 7 here does something. 2, 4. Yeah, that's doing something. Okay, so maybe this was the problem. I could have done more Sudoku, unsurprisingly. Actually, it should be on my gravestone. He could have done more Sudoku. Not much more, but a bit more. Right, what's this doing? It's getting rid of 7. I think that's all that's doing, that 7. It's getting rid of a 7 from that square. So if that's not 7, what was that? Which option was that? That was if this was 4, wasn't it? 4, 2, 6, 1, 7. Yeah, okay. So we've now either got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. This is good. Right, okay. The point here, this can't be 4 anymore because that causes a 7 here. But the point is not that. The point, that's not 6 as a result. The point is there is always an 8 in these squares. So either this is a 1 and that's a 3 and that's a 5 and that's an 8, or that's a 6 and that's directly an 8. So there is an 8 in these squares, which means this is not 5, 8. Well, it's not 8 in that square, it's 5. And that's 7. That doesn't resolve that. But the 5 resolves this. Goodness me, this is complicated. It really is complicated. So the 6 does the 8 and the 6 over here. And this needs 3 and 4. So the 4 goes here, the 3 goes here. That puts 4 there, which makes the... And then the arrow resolves the top. And the 3, 9 is resolved, because we do have a 3 here. Goodness me, these last two, what are they called? Quattroquadri. Quattroquadris are difficult. Now, is this the hardest one then? I really hope not. Although, as I stare at it now, what can you do with this? Now, okay, each box... Within each box, we can't repeat a digit, so it is fair, isn't it, to say this is 6, 8, or 9. Can't be 7 by Sudoku, but it must be at least 6 because these have to be different. So we're adding up at least 1, 2, and 3. That's not it, is it? This is either... Well, it's either 3, 9 or 4, 8. Ooh, right, there's some very lovely logic there then. Okay, so we can do all sorts of things in this box because that domino adds to 7 by mathematics, and this, it's a sort of non-contiguous domino, this non-contiguous domino adds up to 7 by mathematics because 14 minus 7 is 7. But neither of those pairs can be 3, 4, because if we put 3, 4 here or 3, 4 here, you can't fill the 12 cage. So these cells have got to be 2, 5 and 1, 6, and that 2 tells us that that's 2, 5. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, okay, so there's another non-contiguous domino here. Whoopsie. So because this adds up to 12, and whatever's not used in here will add up to 12 in these two squares. Okay, can I just write 3 in the corner and use that as the logic? Because that would give me a 3 here. I know, I won't do that. Right, okay, but we can, again, we can pull the arrow trick. Those 3 digits are all different, so that's at least a 6, but it can't be a 7. So this square, that can't be 9, because that would be a 2. So this is an odd digit that is 3 or 5. We know it's going to be 3. If that's 6... That's 5. Oh no, hang on, this can't be 6. There's a 6 looking at it. Right, this is... Oh, okay, well that's 8, which is unsurprisingly, because that means that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So that is, let's just work this out. Is that only 8 3s we've had so far? We had 8... We must have had all the corners of the mini thingies. And now we've had all of the corners of the quattro thingies. So we've had 8 songs so far in this video. Now that's 3. Right, okay, so this can't be 3, 9. So this is 4, 8, which means that is 9. Now, okay, right, well this must be a 1, 5 pair, and we know the order, because it's adding up to 8. So, well, these two squares add up to 6, and they don't use 2, so they're not 2, 4. So this has got to be 1, that's got to be 5. Now, this arrow is a 9. And we know that because if we look at this box and look at the cells on the arrow, 1 is looking at all of them. And if you can't put 1 on a 3-cell arrow and the digits have to be different, they must be 2, 3, 4. And in fact, we can see which the 2 is because of this 2. So this is 9. This is adding up, so we need 5 more. So we need a 3 here, a 4 here by maths. That's a 6 in the corner by maths. That is not a 6 anymore. It's such a clever puzzle, this. It really is incredible that it's got, still at this juncture, however many puzzles we are into it, really good logic like this box. It's wonderful. Now, what do we do next? Ah, that's got to be a 6 by our old friend Maths. So this box has not had 4, 7 and 9 in it. 9 goes there then. So that's 4 and that's 7. That box just gets finished. And that's a 1 now. So this is 5, 7. We need something over here to resolve that. And there's all sorts of stuff going on in this box. But it looks quite well. Okay, here's one point, which is that 3s don't appear on this arrow, which means that this is either a 2, 5 pair in a very specific order, which is that. I bet it is that, because that will disambiguate this 5, 7. Or this is a 9, and it can't have 3 on it, so it's 1, 2, 6. So this is always 2. This is 5 or 6. And the 2 gives us the 2 and the 5 down here. Okay, that square's not a 3 anymore. Oh, hang on. Have I messed? No, I haven't. No, that feels okay. Maybe this square? Okay, that could perhaps be 4. Maybe. That would make this 5. If this can't be 5, can it? Because that would make this 6, and that would break this square. So if we're missing, so that could be 6 perhaps, that would make this 7. Or if this is 7, can it be 7 and that be 8? I think it might be able to be. But it can't be 8 and 9, because that will break this square. Oh dear, that's not really helped us very much, I'm afraid. Oh, the sirens are going outside. They're coming to lock me away. They've discovered I am stark raving mad. Now, what does that mean? This even. Is there something going on with this having to be an even domino? If that had to be even, it would be 4 or 6. 1, 2, 6, 9. Or 1, 2, 5, 8. That 5, 8 is really nice because it does the 8, 4 down there as well. So that is definitely the favourite for my money. How can we resolve this though? Am I just not seeing something in terms of how these arrows work? Probably. Or can we do the 1, 6? I don't think we can do the 1 and the 6 down here, can we? Or is it... Oh, for goodness sake, Simon. Where's 3 in this box? That's a good question. It seems to have to be there. And that means in order for it to get to even parity, we need this to also be odd, and that's lovely. So that fixes everything. Look, oh goodness me! Did we get that? No, we didn't. I don't think that was the order I was expecting. But anyway, never mind. It's It's good. It's all fine. It's fixing itself. And we need 4 and 5, which is resolved. Good grief. Good grief. Imagine if you made a mistake in any of this. So imagine if I put the wrong digit into one of these squares now. I would be absolutely broken. You'd never work it out again. Okay, well let's try and work out exactly what we do now. So I've got to delete all the digits except for, I don't really know how to do this. Let's do yellows. Oh, I don't want to mess this up, do I? That would really be bad. So it's the middle cells. The middle cells, and then it's the middle cells of the quadrants. All of these have to be preserved. So that looks great, and therefore we go back to digits and we get rid of everything else. Let's get rid of those to start with, and all the pencil marks, of course. We can get rid of all of these, all of these, all of these, all of these, all of those. Is that everything? Might be. No, I missed loads. Oops. Sorry. I did miss a lot, actually. That was an appalling effort. Okay, so we get there. And now, okay, so now we've got to do some sort of massive Sudoku. Yeah, each 12-cell row and 12-cell column and each 6x6 Quattroquadri consists of 3 Sudokus and 1 naughty. So we've got to find the naughties now in order to work out what to do. So how should we do that? Right, here's an idea. There are 2 3s in row 4. So if one of these wasn't taken out by being in a mean mini box, the Sudoku would be impossible to fill. So this box and this box must be natural in these rows. Let's make those green. 3s again in this column. So this box is natural and this box is natural. This is where we find all the boxes are natural. 4s in this row. So this, this is good. This is quite good because either this box or this box is unnatural and these boxes are natural. Can I now assume, I must be able to assume that this is a mean mini, because I can't have more than 9 Sudoku digits in these columns or I will end up repeating a digit. So now these need to be normal in order to allow me to have 9 Sudoku digits in rows 4, 5 and 6. 2 4s in this column, so this is normal. Now, I'm not seeing any others. Bobbins. Bobbins. Can you see any others? If you can you let me know by some advanced technique of time travel, please? Oh, hang on, I've got 2 1s here. Well, that's clearly got to be a mean mini then. So this is green, that's green. We've got a sort of deadly pattern of mean minis. I don't know. How are we going to do this? It's either mean mini here or mean mini there, or mean mini there or mean mini there. It sounds like Wee Willie Winky. I don't know what to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Sudoku in the places where I can trust the digits. Well, I am actually. Look, that can't be 4 9 or 6 7. That's 5 8. No, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, what we need. Yeah, imagine that we got. Imagine we got 7 in this box in one of those squares. Then we would know that would be the mean mini. So this might work, actually, as a strategy. We've just got to find as much as we can out about the green cells. 1 goes here. So the logic we did in this box is still preserved, isn't it? These have to add up to 14, and they have to be 6, 8. And that's an 8. So that's an 8, and that's a 6. Still not resolving, but this is 2, 4, 7. Let's try and find that's not 2. That is a real 2 as far as the Sudoku is concerned. This is a 5, 8 pair, and the 5 is there. Oh, that's quite interesting. So 5 and 8 go in. But if that was 2, 4, that would be a Schrödinger cell. Oh, but we're adding up to 5, so that's absolute nonsense. Bother. What about these squares? They can't be 1, 8, 2, 7, or 4, 5. So this is 3, 6, and we know the order. That's 3, that's 6. So this is a 1, 4 pair now, and that 1 must be treated with respect. So that's 4, 7, 2. That's a something, a 2. Now, let's have another look. 8. Boom! That 8, this can't be normal. That must be mean minied. And if that's mean minied, that's mean minied. I mean, how can this puzzle still be so interesting at this point? It is brilliant. 2, 4, 9. Okay, so that's 4 or 9, I think. Because now we've basically got a massive load of Sudoku to do. That can't be a 2 or a 4. This is a normal box. That's got to be a 9. This is a 3, 5 pair. That's the only way of... Oh, well, look at that. It's a 3, 5 pair, and you can't put the 5 in the 10 cage. So that's 3, that's 7, that's 5. The 11 cage can't have a 9 in it. This is a 2, 4 pair. And this is a 6. And in this row, oh, there's a 2. So that's a 2, that's a 4. We've not put in 3 and something. 3 and 8. There's an 8 there. So that's 8, that's 3. That's 6. Imagine if this goes wrong now. I will literally weep. That's 9, that's 1. This is all working, though. It's absolutely lovely. That's a 7 by maths. That's an 8 by maths. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. If those turn out both to be 3s again, that will be very funny, actually. It will be very funny. That's a 2. This is a 1, 5 pair by maths. Okay, let's see what else we can do. That's a 5 by maths. There's a 5 in one of these by Sudoku, and it's got to go there. And that's on an arrow. But this can be 1 or 2, I think. Okay, well, it can't be 2 because that would be 7. So this must be 1, this must be 6. Which means 2 in the box goes here. And these squares are 3, 8, 9, triple. We can presumably do something with this, can we? 8, what do we need? 16. So that's 8. That's 3, of course. That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. I think even the most vociferous fan of this might be finding this a bit extraordinary. This is 7, this is 4. That's lovely, it all worked. That's a 2, so that's a 6. We need to put 9 into this box and 3. We need to put 2 into this row. This is a 1, 6. Look, it's still doing okay here. We're still doing okay. This column has not had 1 and 9 in it, but there's a circle, so we need to do this. That's got to be a 7. That's a 1. That's a 5. Whoopsie, nearly put the wrong digit in. This is a 2, 5 pair. Bother, that's not resolved. This is a 1, 6 pair because it can't be a 3, 4 pair. No care. Oh no, that's fine. That 4 is outside the box. That 3 is inside the box. That is reasonable logic. The 12 has to be 4, 8, which is in this specific order. So that does the 8 and the 5 at the top again. And the column hasn't got 3 and 9 in it, but we can put the 3 and the 9 in. And now that seems to have to be, oh, careful, 1 plus 3, 5, I think. Yeah, I almost didn't see that cell was dipping down That is, this arrow goes up into the middle cell of that box. Okay, so that's 5, that's 2, and that's 9 in the corner. And this needs to have 2, 6, 7, and 8 in it. So that's 8. Okay, 2, 6, 7, but we need to keep the 7 out of the even cage. That logic still survives, does it? 6 and 2 go into these squares. It's magnificent, this. Oh, look at this. This is lovely. Can't put 5 in the row into the 10 cage. So this is a 4, 6 pair. We know the order. This is a 9 arrow with a 4 on it, so it's got to have a 2 and a 3 to accompany it. This is going to be a 1, 7 pair. I've nearly done all the greens. Actually, this part of the puzzle has been relatively straightforward, hasn't it? It's not been too bad. But now, okay, now we've got mean minis to do. Now, how do we do these? These have doublers in them. Mean minis with doublers. Each mean mini can be solved again as mean minis. These are the final 4. So we've now done, we did 16, 20, 21. We've done 21 Sudokus now. So we're closing in on Christmas Day. And to finish this off, well, am I allowed to write 2 here in meme? Oh no, because there are doublers involved. Oh bother. Oh, well, maybe what I'm allowed to do. No, we can't have more than 3 digits in mean minis. So I must be able to do my 3 thing. Ah, but this could be a doubler. Ah, I see. Okay, so I need to be careful here. How does this... So that could be an 8. 5. I must be here. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, look. 5. So just using mean mini logic allows us to place the digits in this box. But now I've got the same digit in the circle here. How can that possibly work? The only way it can work is if this is a doubler. Now I need a good colour for doubling. Let's make it yellow. It's not great. Let's make it... I'll make it green to indicate it's doubled. So it's worth 10. Which means this is a 2, and that's lovely because that's working in terms of the mathematics of this. So in order for us not to have a doubler in here, that must be a doubler, because we're meant to have a doubler in every row and column of the mean mini. So the digits we've not put in are 2s, and we need a doubler in this column, and it's the green. So this is a weird one. It's got a different doubler in every row. Ah, but look. Actually, I didn't even notice this, but double 3 plus 5 does equal 11, so it works. Good grief. How do you do this? I mean, we solved this earlier as a normal thing without it being doubled. And then it played its role in a Catra thingy, and it all worked then as well. This is so utterly bonkers. It's bonkers. Okay, so this is 8. We can just do mean mini logic, can't we? And put 1s and 8s in all over the place. And then we've just got to work out, well, hang on, what's going on here? This is even. Now it adds up to 9. So we've got to get rid of the fact it's got an odd digit in it. There's no point doubling this one, because once we add in a 1, we'll still end up with an odd total. So that's definitely doubled. Okay. This has to be... Right, well that looks like it's trying to be a 4, doesn't it? But it can't be a 4, because this is a natural 8, and if that's a 4 and that's a 4, that won't work. So I wonder, either this is doubled or this is doubled. But if we can't double the 8 in the top row. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the simplest way. You can't double the 8, because it's worth 16 in a 13 cage. So you must double the 1, and once you double the 1, the only cell left to be doubled down here is here. So this has to be now a 3 by mathematics, and then we put 3s in the rest of the grid. Oh, of course you do. How many times have I fallen for that? That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Yeah, but this is working now, I think. We've got 5 plus 8, that is 13. We've got double 3 plus double 1, that is 8. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful that worked. Right, let's fill in the mean mininess here. So that, oh, hang on, what's gone on here? Oh, I see, that gets doubled. That's fairly simple then. Double the 1 here. It's so ludicrous. And now you can't double these, because that will break this total of 2 now. So that's doubled. Oh, that's fine. That's in an even box on its own. Now that's doubled. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's a 7 in order to make the maths work. It's double 7 plus 1 in the 15 cage. And 7s go into these squares, and that becomes a 3, which is odd. And that is still odd, because this counts as 2. So 2 plus 3 does give an odd total. How? How is this still working? We've got 1 left. We know there's going to be a 3 there. Actually, it would also be funny if there wasn't. But we can do mean mini. Mean mini, mean mini, mean mini. Now, what's going on? That must be doubled, mustn't it? Yeah, a 4 in a circle, which has already got lots of stuff on it. Unless that could be double 1 somehow. No, because then the 13 cage won't add up to enough. There is no way. There is no way. That has to be doubled. Oh, and that also tells you something we were suspecting all along, which is that that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. But we haven't quite finished yet, because although that is true, that had to be doubled, we now have to work out, well, this arrow now is adding up to 8, and it works with no doublers. So this has to be doubled, and this, oh, yeah, and that works. Double 4 plus 2 plus 3 is correct. Now, I don't know if this is going to tell me whether I've got it right or not. It does. Congratulations on solving Advent Calendar. Did you enjoy the 12 confettis of Christmases? That's what we ended up with. Wow. That is fantastic. Analytical Ninja. That is so absolutely ridiculous that that's possible. 25 puzzles in one. And they were all, fascinating. You get 16 little bite-sized pieces at the start, and then they start getting bigger, and some of the logic in the bigger ones was hard. And then it all finishes off in that way, changing everything to doublers. My mind is blown. I can't even comprehend how you begin setting that. Can anybody? I mean, that's just ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. But it's wonderful. And this video, well, how long will it be? It's about right for you to just click off this and come and watch our stream. So thank you very much for watching if you're still watching. Loved it. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.